Live and on demand from the WNY News Now studios in downtown Jamestown. This is WNY News Now.
And thanks for joining us for WNY News Now. On this Thursday, I'm Justin Gould.
And I'm Matt Hummel. Happening now, a Greenhurst woman is accused of driving to a school while intoxicated. Details coming up.
Plus, Democrat candidate for State Senate, Austin Morgan, joins us live in studio. But first, Chief Forecaster Dakota Hunter is standing by with a first look at weather. Hey, Dakota.
Hey, Justin and Matt, and happy Thursday, everybody. We're so close to the weekend, and here's the radar. There is nothing going on. It is a dry sweep on radar. We have high pressure that is built in, and it is a little bit chilly because a cold front has passed on through, and the line you see coming up right about in here is going to be the cold front that ultimately passed on through. There it is, and so that is ultimately the story, so it's a little bit chilly. Let's go to the graphics, and I'll show you the pollen levels, and you can see here that it's mainly the tree pollen. Well, the tree pollen is moderate now. The grass pollen has spiked up to high, and 216 pollutants per meter is the current pollen count right now, and this is where we were yesterday, 68 over 57. Look at where we should be, 74 and 49, but it's going to get warm as we go into the weekend. So the forecast for the remainder of the afternoon, early cloud cover, otherwise the cloud cover reparts, leading to partly sunny skies, and the humidity comes down, down, down. 65 to 74 is the high temp range, with a north wind averaging 5 to 10. We'll time out that warm up that comes with the weekend, plus with the remainder of that forecast a little bit later on in the show. Justin and Matt.
All right, looking forward to it. Dakota, thank you. Our top story, a Greenhurst woman is charged after the Chautauqua County Sheriff's Office say she drove to Bemis Point Elementary School in an intoxicated state yesterday morning. Authorities say that around 9 a.m. they were called to a well-being check of a 41-year-old woman, Somer Devanen. Devanen was reportedly located in the driver's seat of her vehicle. She is charged with driving while intoxicated and driving while intoxicated with a blood alcohol level of 0.18 or higher. She was taken to the Chautauqua County Jail for centralized arraignment. Now, according to the sheriff's website, Devanen is no longer an inmate there, so she must have made bail.
A Cherry Creek man was allegedly in possession of a half ounce of methamphetamine during a traffic stop conducted by the Cattaraugus County Sheriff's Office in Southern Tier Regional Drug Task Force Tuesday on 2nd Street. 26-year-old Brian McDonegal is charged with criminal possession of a controlled substance with the intent to sell. McGonigal was taken to the town of New Albion Court for arraignment, where he was remanded to the Cattaraugus County Jail in lieu of $10,000 bail. Now, McGonigal is set to appear in New Albion Town Court on June 18th at 7 p.m.
And some New York State farmers say they're open to compromise on legislation designed to help agricultural laborers. So, several farm owners traveled to Albany yesterday to discuss legislation before the Democrat-led Senate and Assembly, which would allow farm workers to unionize, collect disability benefits, and receive more than 40 hours per week. Supporters of the bill say it's about basic economic fairness, but farmers warn it could force some farms to close down. Now, one farmer told the Associated Press that seasonal nature of agricultural work doesn't lend itself to consistent 40-hour work weeks, but that farmers might help accept a overtime threshold of higher than 40 hours a week.
Well, today marks the 75th anniversary of D-Day, the largest invasion by air, land, and sea in history. On June 6 of 1944, soldiers, planes, and ships from the United States, Britain, and Canada stormed the Nazi-occupied French beaches of Normandy. The D-Day invasion, as it was soon called, is credited with changing the course of World War II as, less than a year after D-Day, Nazi Germany surrendered to the Allies. Thousands of Allied soldiers died in the invasion, and the battles of Normandy continued for roughly 3 more months until Allied troops liberated Paris from Nazi control. President Trump, other world leaders, and 173 American World War II veterans are in Normandy for anniversary ceremonies. 65 of those vets stormed the beaches as part of the D-Day invasion.
Wow, just take a moment to pause for that. I mean, absolutely incredible service, and I think society really owes them a debt, because they certainly did play a huge part of history. And it's incredible to see every year the world come together to honor their sacrifice made, and especially on the 75th anniversary. Every 25 years, 50 years, 75, 100 years are certainly landmarks, and this year, nevertheless, to put on such an amazing remembrance ceremony there in France. I was just watching some of the pictures this morning. Certainly an honorable thing that they're doing there, and I let the world never forget, for sure.
Absolutely.
Well, back here at home, officials with UPMC Chautauqua Hospital held a open house Wednesday to highlight their new expansion. Hospital officials said the $20 million project features an improved design, additional space, more privacy, and modern amenities for patients and visitors. Now, former UPMC Chautauqua president Betsy Wright, who retired late last year, originally championed for the new addition. Wright told WNY News Now, seeing everything come together is really a dream come true.
I've looked at the blueprints, I've looked at the schematics, I've sat with the team and the architects when they were planning it, but to really see it built with the furniture starting to go in, it's incredible. It really is.
Now, the new 42,000 square foot expansion includes 4 labor and delivery suites along with 12 postpartum private rooms. As part of the hospital's mental health service expansion, the new complex will also hold 10 inpatient adolescent mental health beds along with 20 inpatient adult mental health beds. Now, additionally unveiled for the first time, you see there a baby mural wall with more than 700 photos submitted by former patients. Officials tell us that the expansion was made possible by a $26.4 million state grant, part of a $1.5 billion commitment made by the state in 2016 to assist healthcare providers, fund capital improvement, and further develop health systems across the state. Pretty amazing to see a great opening there in Jamestown, Matt. And were you on the baby wall by chance?
I could be, and I don't know. I mean, it's or were you?
I was not, because you had to submit the baby photo. So, but
maybe your mom submitted it.
Yeah, maybe actually. I don't know what she does.
Amy, if you're watching this, can you answer
clarify that?
Please do. Maybe Dakota's on it.
Maybe. We don't know. Maybe you're on it out there. So, did you submit it? Let us know. Do you like the expansion? Did you visit the open house last night? I know there was a line actually forming as I was leaving. They had a media and official reception before where they did the ribbon cutting. We kind of got access to get some B-roll shots without a bunch of people in there. But really, the line was pretty long. A lot of people wanting to see the new addition to their community hospital.
Oh, it's exciting.
Yeah,
good news.
Certainly is. So happy Thursday to all of you. Hopefully you're having a good day out there. Saying hello to Gary. Hopefully you're doing well. Ralph, good afternoon to you. Good afternoon to Smathers as well. Cindy, Brenda, thanks so much for joining us. Mike, good to see you. Mike wants to know the bonfire forecast. Dakota could have details on that coming up. Saying hello to Joseph, to Pam has joined us. Seth is here. David, always great to see you. Love having you here.
John
Patricia,
Schultz.
Wendy, John Schultz.
Yes.
We miss you, John. What are you doing? Get back in here. Coming up next, the lineup for Allen Park's concert series is out. Details on that in just a few.
But first, a man running for New York State's 57th Senate seat. He visits us in studio to talk about legalizing recreational marijuana and a number of other important issues that faces the district. Dakota.
We know what John's doing, but we're not going to say. Here's a live look from the Mill Creek Mall in Erie. Look at that fog over Erie right now. When you have a temperature and a dew point close together, you're going to have some fog, but the sun will break out. We'll talk about it next. WNY News Now continues in a minute, so don't go away.
Live and on demand, you're watching WNY News Now.
Now open in downtown Jamestown, Pearl City Hops, restaurant and tavern.
I have some real old-timey dishes on there that I'm just giving new life to. Like there's a shepherd's pie on there that's gonna have some bison in it, real thick hearty gravy. Then I'm also doing beer flights. We're pairing it with a set of sliders, a set of tacos, and a set of mini rolls. So everything's gonna have its own pair, so you can get a taste of a little bit of everything and all the beers. We don't want to be known as the restaurant in the hotel. We want to be known as Pearl City Hops.
You're watching WNY News Now, your source for breaking news.
This year's Frewsburg Gala Days is bigger than ever. It's Old Home Week, June 12th through the 15th. Catch musical performances by Hot Mess Friday at 8, Smokin' 45 Saturday at 8. All the food, fun, and friends will be at Frewsburg Fire Company's annual Gala Days. And welcome back to WNY News Now. We are just weeks away from WNY News Now's 57th Senate District Republican primary debate, where Chautauqua County Executive George Borrello will face Allegheny County Board of Legislature Chairman Kurt Crandall.
The man who will face whoever wins that June primary in November's general election, he's Austin Morgan, Democrat candidate for New York State Senate. He joins us here in studio live this afternoon. Austin, good to see you.
Hey guys, great to be here.
So one of the biggest topics that we wanted to get your take on, Austin, that's being discussed right now in Albany is the potential legalization of recreational marijuana. What do you believe lawmakers should do in regards to regulating the drug?
Well, first and foremost, I don't think it's going to pass this year, and it shouldn't. It shouldn't be done outside the budget. So the priorities for marijuana are making sure that it stays out of the hands of our children, make sure that it's done right the first time, and make sure that we have the right regulatory oversight to make sure that it's implemented in a way that helps everyday New Yorkers and it makes sure that we remain safe.
Austin, we were talking before going on air about how right now here in New York State, the state legislature and Governor Cuomo have discussed potentially closing a couple of prisons and instead having some heroin injection sites. Wanted to get your take on that situation.
So, despite the rumors, the bill concerning heroin supervised injection sites, it's just that. It's a proposal in Albany that's not gained traction. I don't think it will, and I don't think we'll see that. There is a wealth of research from other countries showing that those types of sites do, in fact, reduce fatalities. They do help addicts to get off of those drugs. But at this point, it's not gained traction in Albany, and I don't think locally it's something that I would support.
Now, one of the big things that we were talking before this broadcast in regards to farming and trying to help much of rural New York, you sort of have a plan in place right now, if elected, that you would try to render some assistance to them, right?
So absolutely, we've got to help our farmers. I mean, we are losing farms left and right, especially small family farms. So the biggest thing right now is the Farm Labor Bill in Albany, which has been put through the Senate committee and hopefully will not come to a floor vote. It cannot. If it is passed as it currently stands, it will kill our industry. And you know, I'm a Democrat, and I'm going to call out the Democrats who are wrong. And they are wrong on this bill right now. We need to come to a common sense compromise. Our farmers need to be helped out while we continue to protect our workers. So we can implement some sort of overtime, but we have to make sure that farms are going to be able to afford it, and we have to make sure that the seasonal nature, especially of our agriculture. A lot of folks point to California as some place that have implemented things like this, but California is a completely different climate than here in New York. So we need to make sure that our workers are protected, absolutely, but we can't kill our farmers doing it.
Well, in follow-up to that, I know a lot of the supporters of the bill right now are arguing, saying that, you know, a lot of these part-time workers, or maybe not even part-time, but they're laborers, you know, when winter comes, sometimes they're out of a job. Is there something that can be done to try to help facilitate, further employment for them? Or, I guess some would argue maybe that's not the government's job to step in anyways.
Right, and I think you hit the nail on the head there. Most of them are seasonal workers. On family farms, I think almost 70% of the workers in the agricultural industry are employed by large farms. Most small family farms employ either just their families or a very small subset of seasonal employees. And what they do is they fly in those seasonal employees. So we have to look at how we help farmers to pay those employees while they're here, but I don't think it's the government's place to step in and say, when these workers aren't on the job, we need to keep track of them. That's not our job. What we need to be doing is saying, and I've talked to farmers about this, and I've heard them, and there have been hearings around the state, and the farmers, the reality is that the worries about how we treat our farm workers by people in New York City are just wrong. They don't have the experience. They haven't come to our farms. They don't see the way we treat our workers. Most workers in upstate New York on these farms are paid more than the minimum wage. They do work long hours each week, but they're often given housing and things like that along with their salary. They are given days off when it's necessary, but the fact is that agriculture is a vastly different industry from anything else we regulate in this state. During harvest time, we can't guarantee a day off because things will go bad on the vine, and that hurts farmers.
And finally, Austin, we did want to ask you, being one of the, if not the youngest candidate running here in New York State right now, what are people through the district saying? What are you hearing predominantly on the trail?
So yes, it's true. I would be the youngest state senator in history, in New York history. And I have been very pleasantly surprised on the campaign trail. Folks have come up to me at events left and right, and some say, you're 22, politics is dirty, what are you doing? Stay away from it. But I say, now's the time. My generation has so much to lose. And my children and folks' grandchildren, we have so much to lose if we don't make things better now. So I often get that question, but even more than that, I hear we need new blood in government, and I think that's absolutely true. We need a fresh perspective. We need someone with energy. We need someone willing to stand up for the little guy, and that's what I'm about.
And follow up to that, what do you say to some of the hardcore Republicans? Is that your pitch, that your new blood? Because I'm sure there's a lot of people that tell us anyways that they're going to vote along the line because that's what the district does.
Of course, and I mean, we're in an age where partisanship has become so polarizing, and that's unfortunate to see. So there have certainly been folks that haven't wanted to talk to me, but even more than that, I've talked to folks who say, I'm a registered Republican and I loved Kathy Young, but I like what you're saying and I'd like to get to know you more, come over for coffee, let's chat about this because I like what you're saying, and this might be the first time I switch parties. All right,
Austin Morgan, thanks for joining us. Where can people connect with you?
So first of all, you can go on our website, which is voteaustinmorgan.com. You can also find us on Facebook, Austin Morgan for State Senate, and at Morgan for New York 57 on Twitter.
All right, Austin Morgan, thank you for joining us today. Wish we had more time to chat, but we appreciate you being in here with us.
Thanks so much, guys.
And remember to catch WNY News Now's town hall-style debate between Morgan's opponents, Borrello and Crandall. That's Thursday, June 20th, right here on WNY News Now. Coming up next, Chief Forecaster Dakota Hunter. He's standing by with a live look at our First Defense weather forecast.
And later, we have the details on this year's Allen Park Concert Series when WNY News Now returns.
With coverage that matters, this is WNY News Now.
EagleZip.com is your local one-stop shop for all of your home and business computer needs. Located on Fluvan Avenue Extension, just outside of Jamestown, EagleZip.com sells and services all brands of desktops and laptops, as well as servers and network equipment for your business. All new computer sales include transferring your data from your old computer plus a 2-year warranty. Call EagleZip.com today.
Stop by EagleZip.com today and let us make computers easy for you.
Extra, extra, read all about it. Not tomorrow, but right now on the WNY News Now mobile app. Follow local news as it happens.
Top story: a Forestville man's weather video has gone viral.
And stay informed with the Southern Tier's only 24/7 streaming network.
Our Matt Hummel is standing by live outside of Chautauqua County Court with more on this case. Matt, good afternoon to you.
Download the WNY News Now app right now. It's free on the Apple App Store and Google Play Store.
First Defense Weather, the Southern Tier's only live and local weather source. Now, here's Chief Forecaster Dakota Hunter.
Welcome back, and here are the rainfall totals that we've had over the past 24 hours. Little Valley in Cattaraugus County is the winner at 1.7 inches. Olean a little more than 1.5 inches, 1.3 inches in Falconer. Jamestown officially at the airport, 1.2 inches. And there's a gauge actually on the lake, and they gauged 0.88 inches over the past 24 hours. But the good news is, we're done with this rain for at least a little while. If you want to take your boat out on Lake Erie, the water temperature off Erie is 57, off Buffalo 60 now off Erie, north wind of around 5 to 10 knots, and wave heights averaging 1 foot or less. And we will see the clouds breaking up as we go into the afternoon hours, which is great. We've had enough of this rain. Today is day 2 of the Ribfest and Car Show down in Celeron, so if you want to head out to that, here's what the forecast is looking like. We do have the cloudy skies now, but we will see the clouds breaking apart. Temperatures at least should be into the upper 60s to lower 70s. This is below average, but it won't be as humid as it was yesterday, and we won't have any rain to contend with throughout the day. So that's a good news. That's 3 until 10 o'clock, of course, at the park in Celeron. News Now, Cam, again, gray skies right now, but this will break apart as we go through the afternoon. 59 is the current temperature at the airport. Got a north wind of 8. That's why it's cooler. Northwest north wind brings in the colder air from Canada. And look at the visibility, only 3 miles. We do have some fog out there as of right now. Of course, when you have the dew point and the temperature close together. Next big thing is going to be the temperatures as we look farther out. Now, this goes all the way until almost the end of June, and the CPC kind of believes that we're going to see below average temperatures across much of the continental 48. So if you're looking for warmth, do what the country song says, point your rocking chairs towards the west and of course the south if you're looking for any time for any sort of warmth. Let's go zone by zone for you. We'll start first of all in the eastern areas. First, temperatures here should be into the upper 60s to lower 70s. Maybe Warren will squeeze out 74. Partial sunshine, cooler and less humid. Westward we go to the Lake Erie shoreline. Again, temperatures here a little bit cooler, mid 60s here, but lots of sunshine for the afternoon. Now in high definition, the next 7 days of your life. There we go. We start to warm up as we go into Friday. Look at that, 81 on Saturday, full sunshine, and the temperatures will stay into the 70s into early next week. We turn a little bit cooler with another chance of some isolated showers earlier in the week. Sports is next. Don't go away.
You're watching WNY News Now, where coverage comes first.
Want weather now? Download the WNY News Now mobile app and stay up to date on severe weather alerts. Plus, anytime hazardous weather strikes, stick with the Southern Tier's only 24/7 streaming network that keeps you safe. You're all in a tornado warning, so now is the time to go to a safe place, small room, lowest floor, near the center, away from windows. What are you waiting for? Download the WNY News Now mobile app today. It's free in the Apple App Store and Google Play Store.
WNY Sports Now is powered by Phone Zone of Jamestown. With the largest inventory around, we buy and sell our own merchandise at a price that can't be beat. Have a broken screen? We'll fix it. Learn more at phonezoneshop.com.
Happy Thursday, sports fans. We are nearing the end of another work week. Welcome back to WNY News Now. I'm Norm Rodriguez with a look at sports. In upcoming Class AA high school baseball action, the Frontier Falcons will take on the McQuaid Jesuit Knights on Saturday at noon in the Section 6 Class AA Championships. With both teams having a bye week in the sub-regionals, this game will be a regional matchup. The game will be played at the Lockport Sports Annex in Lockport, New York. Despite a 47-point performance from Stephen Curry on Wednesday night, the Toronto Raptors took a 2-1 series lead in the NBA Finals on Wednesday night with a 123-109 victory. Kawhi Leonard scored a team-high 30 points for the Raptors, adding 7 boards and 6 assists. Kyle Lowry had 23 points and 9 assists. Besides Curry's 14 for 31 shooting night, the rest of the team were a combined 22 of 60 from the floor. Draymond Green was the second leading scorer for the Golden State Warriors on Wednesday night with 17 points. Game 4 of the NBA Finals will be tomorrow night at Golden State at 9 o'clock. Tonight, with an 8 o'clock puck drop, the Boston Bruins will host the St. Louis Blues in Game 5 of the Stanley Cup Finals. Tied 2 games apiece, St. Louis evened the series with a 4-2 victory at home on Monday. After Game 5, the Blues will host Game 6 of the Stanley Cup Finals, which will be on Sunday. Tonight's game will be televised on NBC and can be viewed on the NHL app. That's it for sports today. Justin and Matt, back to you.
Alrighty, Norm, thank you. Well, several performances are gearing up for a summer season filled with music, art, and a lot more at Glorinson Band Shell, located in Allen Park. On Wednesday, City of Jamestown Park, Recreation, and Conservation officials announced, in addition to the Jamestown Municipal Band's annual performances there, Pearl City Jazz, Chautauqua Theater Company, and to kick off the season, the Jamestown High School Concert Band will perform. Band director Megan Murray said playing at the band shell is much different than playing indoors.
The transition from inside to outside, like you said, is always a challenge because it kind of makes your instruments do crazy things sometimes depending on the weather, so the kids have to learn how to adjust to that very quickly. And then to have a different audience than what they're used to is really exciting, and I think they get a little nervous to perform, and I think they walk in thinking, oh, this will be a fun time, fun concert, but then when they get under the pressure and it's time to start, they see all the people there and they really they get down to business.
Murray said the concert will feature lighter music with a xylophone solo and fun ragtime piece. The high school concert band is set to perform Wednesday, June 12th at 7 o'clock. All performances are free and open to the public. Those attending are urged, though, to bring their lawn chairs, blankets, or park their vehicles close by and listen to the music from the comfort of their car. Pretty cool. I always remember going with my grandparents, Matt, and I'm pretty sure they probably still go, honestly. So
yeah, I remember you telling me about that, actually. Yes.
So it's really, really nice to see that they're going to be featuring, not some Shakespeare as well there from some great artists from Chautauqua, but our very own Jamestown students, and getting them a chance to really get out and play. Now, Dakota, I know you used to play the xylophone, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yes.
Now you play the weather clicker.
Yeah, exactly. This is... Anyway, let's take a look at the weather graphics. And, that's not right. There we go. Let's take a look at that bus stop forecast. Again, school is almost over with, but for the kids coming home today, 65 to 72, less humid. The sun will peek out as they're heading off the bus. Tomorrow morning, 53 to 60, bright sunshine. Leave those sweaters at home. You don't need them. It's going to be great tomorrow. Here's the 7-day. Again, look at that, 81 Saturday. We are dry for basically 4 consecutive days, which is what we need. We've had a lot of rain recently, but Monday, we return the chance of a few scattered thunderstorms, and temperatures return below average for Tuesday and Wednesday of next week.
I like it, Dakota. Thank you.
Hey, that's going to do it for us today, of course. We're back tomorrow with our TGIF edition. Woohoo! We're all excited for that. Be sure to stay connected, though, with WNY News Now wherever you go by downloading our mobile app. It's free right now on the Apple App Store and Google Play Store. News continues 24/7 on WNYNewsNow.com. Have a great day, everyone.